Alrighty. Hello, everybody. This is Kyusho here, and now, before I do get started, let me go ahead and give a brief little review. In the last part, we had a number of events happening. Now, we had Deku. Deku went on an assignment the Familia wanted him to go on. He was sitting in a room with a bunch of people, and he was given a letter in his envelope. They were able to figure things out. The woman who was overseeing this meeting watched as all of them started trying to find out the best mission that was suited to them. And watched as they did assemble their own small teams. Deku, Kirishima, and Shoji. These three went on a mission where they had to bring someone in, either dead or alive, and turn them in to the family. He killed his former boss, and members of the gang separated with him and went to the Badlands, a place in Japan, or well, one of the places in Japan, where law is non existent, and the families don't have any control. This has been a number of things. During Deku's encounter, he was nearly overwhelmed. He might have had the power, but his lack of combat experience in lethal battles did show. Someone managed to slash him across the leg, pierce him in the gut, and nearly take his head off. He was able to evade the attack, though whenever he was put on the back foot, the next set of attacks did come with a blaring alarm. Deku isn't sure what the hell happened. 1 second, he wished for a way to get out of the situation, wished for a way to know what the hell to do. And when that alarm went off in his head, he was able to move. Though, it almost overwhelmed him. It was only thanks to Deku's instinct to survive, he managed to take out the person with the darkness quirk and then finish off the rest of the crew. Then again, he felt like someone was taking a hammer. Well, not a hammer. He felt like someone was taking a fistful of nails to a chalkboard. That is the better example I can actually give. After they got back to the agency, he got his wounds treated and turned the guy in for the reward. Afterwards, they all talked about their missions in the meeting they had later. Deku kept it to himself, but he's fairly certain something is wrong with him. He was quirkless before One for All, but all of a sudden now, the alarm bells ringing in his head, that's not something natural. He thinks that it's a quirk. And that's something that might land him up shit creek. Right now, everyone, they had a plan to go out for drinks and food. Deku talked about how he'll be along shortly, but he did want to try and go over his performance of the day. And all of them did accept this. And we do have right now, Deku, he drove out of the city and made sure to pull off to a parking lot where no one was. There was a vehicle here about 10 minutes ago. But when the people did leave, he made sure to look around, check and see that no one was here, and he did then pull out his phone and make a phone call. And right now, there is the fact that Night Eye, he had a lot going through his own mind. When Deku, however, called him, he did make sure to answer the phone. And he was a little confused. I heard about your first assignment. Was it too much for you? No, that's not the problem. Right now, I have another problem that may have popped up. Another problem. Was there an attempt on your life? No. Well, outside of our target, no. That's not the issue. Then what exactly is the issue, young man? If this is about joining the family, I'm afraid to tell you that leaving it is not a possibility you will soon have. It's not that either. Listen, I get that you want me involved in all this. Trust me, I do. But something odd happened today. Just listen to me and please do not interrupt me, boss. I don't care about protocol. I don't care about being rude right now. But I had something happen I can't explain to you. Something that if I don't tell you, you're not gonna believe me. And I think it's worrying me a lot. Has Mirako ever come across an instance in battle or a state of mind where our instincts are sharpened to the point of alarm bells? What do you mean? I mean, today I was attacked multiple times. At some point, my brain told me of danger. More than that, I was well aware of something. I felt this pounding in my head so hard it didn't go away. And I mean, it nearly made me pass out. It stopped only after the danger passed, only after we were out of combat. I mean, I've had a few hours to think about it, but I've never experienced something like that. Now with Mirako, now with Aizawa during knife training, nothing like that. It has me a little rattled. The only thing I can think of is a quirk. Even during my fight with Todoroki, real combat, I've never felt something like that either. And he tried to take me out. And I mean take me out. Not I going silent. You think it's a quirk. I don't know what to think it is, boss. Right now, it's got me a little rattled. Either I have a quirk that I've manifested, or it's something else going on. But I don't know what it is. My dad had a fire quirk and my mom has telekinesis. It shouldn't be a quirk if I manifested one, right? I see. That is odd. Or, did your dad ever work with the criminal underbelly? Your mother? Anyone related in the last 100 years? I don't see how this is relevant. Answer the question. No, we didn't. If we were, my family might have been better off. I don't know how that's relevant, though. Dr. Ujiko, he sells quirks. He does what? Yes. The doctor is quite the fascinating man. He sells Nomu. He knows how to surgically implant a quirk into somebody. I myself don't know much about the procedure, though I have been tempted to buy one. It costs quite a pretty little penny. I've heard rumors that Endeavor's bought one. And in fact, Ryoko may have bought several. But of course, this is all just hearsay. A number of people in Japan have gone to the doctor. I heard before my time, he used to sell quirks willy-nilly, just to see what would happen. And even during my time, I have heard of him getting some business from that. This is rather odd. And you said this just happened. Yes, it did. Thank you for informing me of this. I can advise our doctors as to what to do. It may be more complicated, but I can also swear them to secrecy. They should understand. But this does have me rather concerned. About my premature death? Hello? Potentially, yes. But that is decades away. You should be fine, however. You never manifested a quirk for as long as you had your regular abilities so far. Until now. I don't understand. We have a severe lack of information. I believe once we have more, we may be able to figure this all out. Are you sure? Yes. Potentially. I hope you're right, boss, because this has me freaking out. I don't know who else to talk to about this. It helped a lot, but I've got to figure this all out. Are you sure it was not a fluke? If it was, I would not have called you. I mean, I don't know. I've heard before from All Might. One for All have the ability to enhance quirks, but in all the fights you've had, it's never manifested? No. And during this one it did. Yes. During your Todoroki battle, you were severely injured. I need to look into this matter myself. We do have someone. I can look into the family history of your family and potentially look back into One for All. Myself. Find out a little bit more about what our founder may have had in store for us. Especially for you. Listen, for right now, keep this ability under wraps. If you do need to, test it out with young Bakugo. As for that, you are free to go. I take it that our conversation is private. Very much so. I'm outside of town. I'm nowhere where the agency can hear us. Or anyone is. Good. Keep me updated on this situation. It certainly is concerning. Deku nodding his head and going to confirm this with Sir Night-Eye. Going to hang up. And the man, he does get a sigh and rub his temples. Though he himself does find it to be intriguing. Deku manifested some sort of alarm in his head. That is intriguing. Though he hasn't dealt with Dr. Uchiko. So, this is natural? Or perhaps not? Maybe. I'll have to check in soon and see how he is going. See if perhaps maybe this was just a fluke and the kid got rattled? It's a possibility, but it's not a strong one. The kid called him, and he even talked about how he never experienced something like that before. Hell, from his perspective, Mirako was gonna murder him at one point, and that alarm never went off. Huh. Yeah. Okay. That does mean something. Now, Deku, he does it to call Kami. Her going to tell him the address of the restaurant all of them are currently at. And he does get to show up a few minutes later. Everyone, they've already been drinking. And they've also ordered quite a bit of food. Right now, though, he does go to see them all having a good time. And whenever he doesn't come walking in, the woman does go to stare at him bring up his familiar ring, and she does take him to the private room they're all at. And it is met with a thunderous roar of his arrival. All of them talking about it. They're 2 drinks in. He's got to catch up with them. Right now, Shinsho walking over and dragging him to the table. Him going to sit down as Bakugo does a turn and go to pull out a bottle. Him going to pour the vodka and go to pour Deku a shot. Him pouring himself his own and turning to Shoji and Kirishima. And there is actually Ida. Ida, he does gotta stand there, red in the face, and talking about it. Holding up his own glass of beer. About how he has it. Come on, go for it. Go, 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 go. And he does start to drink. Now, Deku, he does take 2 shots. And he does go switch to some beer afterwards. Right now, he does order some food that can hopefully soak up the alcohol. And that is helpful. He does get some rice, curry, and a fried steak. And it is delicious. As everyone, they're talking about the missions they all went on. And there is Kimi, who does sit across from him. Her face a little red from alcohol. And right now, Deku, he is digging into his food, looking up as he doesn't meet her gaze, and she does avert her eyes. And he does get to ask her, "What's up? You got hurt." "Yeah, I know. Took a worse shot. Guy almost hit me in one of my kidneys earlier today." "Really?" "Oh, hell yeah. You should have seen him out there, guys. I mean, he was a fucking menace. I mean, I think he killed one of those guys just with one of those blades he throws. I mean, shit. He threw his fucking knife at someone, if I'm remembering. Yeah, my dad's pocket knife. I got a guy in the shoulder. He, was a bit of an ass." "Your dad or the guy?" "The guy." "Right, my bad. Sorry. But no, dude, I wouldn't want to fuck with him. You should have seen that shit. It was crazy, right, Shoji?" "Oh, yeah. I mean, hell. You should have seen the way he was moving. The dude locked right the fuck in. I mean, hell. I can kind of see where all that drink with Mirako comes from." "Yup. He still got hurt." Her looking right back at him and talking about it. He should have been more careful. Maybe next time she can take him with her on a stealth mission. That definitely does sound fun. Or there's even the whole thing of maybe she can come with him to watch his back. Maybe, but I don't know if your powers are suited towards combat. I know how to fight, you know. And I never said you didn't. Listen, we had different assignments tonight. Or today. Tonight we're all trying to have fun, right? Oh, hell yeah, we are. Kirishima going to stand. And he does go talk about how he does know a good old song that his parents used to sing when they were drinking. I mean, well, shit. They don't have a karaoke machine and they don't have a guitar. But it goes something like this. Him going to bring his hands down to his pants and somewhat sway his hips. Talking about a farmer and the harvest he does have. About how he does need to sow his seed in the land and plow the fields to make sure it is ready to receive. And everyone, they do get to stare at him. Some of them, they do get to somewhat chuckle and try not to laugh. But it's only whenever you do have Asui and Kendo, who do get to join him, do people begin to somewhat laugh a little harder and even try singing along the song. Talking about how the crop needs to be tended to and make sure to manage well for a proper harvest. And it is quite the song they do to sing. Even Deku does get involved, raising his beer and singing along. It does mean a bit. Deku, he does even get a glance over at Bakugo. He is relaxed as well, though he can tell from the bandage on his arm that he did have some trouble on his own mission. Is something in his mind? Something troubling him, clouding him? Maybe. Just maybe. He could try to ask. And then again, after what the boss did say to him, he might just have a lot of shit to think through. He definitely knows that he does. And everyone, they do have a bit of a good time. When the bill does go to arrive, Deku, he does go to pay. Him telling everybody about how he has this. Next time, they can probably cover for themselves, but for right now, it's his treat. He knows he definitely has wanted all of them to get together. And Izuku, he did even make sure to order a little bit of extra food to take home. And right now, there is where everyone, they do begin to leave. Deku taking his bag and putting it in the compartment of his bike. And when he does it to do so, he does go to sit down and just stare up at the sky, beginning to put on his jacket and get ready to leave. As there is Rokimi, she does come walking out. Him turning his head and going to stare at her. Hey, you alright? Yeah, I'm a little too, tipsy to drive. Can you give me a ride? Can't you call the agency? I could, but the restaurant's gonna close soon and, well, I don't know if they dispatch cars at this late at night. Deku trying to appraise her. And he does go to shake his head. This is... No. She's not trying something against him. She wants private time with him? God. Yeah, that's right. Kimi's not like that. She's someone he can trust. I can give you a bit of a ride. Just let me know where it's at. Her perking up a bit. And her smile does tell Deku he made the right choice. Her walking over and hopping on the bike. Her grabbing him around the waist as he does a small wince, feeling the pain shoot up his body. And she does it to pull her hands back, asking if he's alright. I'm fine. The doctor said I'm just tender. Right. Sorry. Are you sure you're okay? Yeah. Him going to turn. Telling her. Just, hang on. He'll be a bit more careful, though. He doesn't have a second helmet. Just, keep her head down. And she does a somewhat nod. Right now, Deku does a drive off. And she does a lean into his back and go to think about a lot going through her own mind. He does drop her off. Her quite happy when she does arrive at her residence, even asking him if he's okay to drive himself. And he does talk about it. He did have some water and he does still have those special healing pills the doctor gave him. He took one earlier. It's kind of helping, but it's a little so-so. He could take another, but they're expensive. I'm sure they are. They definitely sound expensive. But, coffee? Um, no, I'm fine. Though, maybe some water? Her nodding her head. And they do go to step into her apartment, and she does pour Deku a glass. Her even giving him some ice as she does get to walk over to the balcony and look outside. Her with a lot going through her own mind. And Deku does get to appraise the apartment. The apartment, it is familiar housing, relatively safe, and with a number of people around in case some shit does go down. I mean, it's not a bad place. The garage is connected to the building, and they do have security. If he was not who he was, this might be a good place to live. Deku even turning to the locks on the door. Kimi has two powerful deadbolts, along with a large metal lock he does as C. It does look to go into the wall for about maybe 5-6 inches, and that's on both sides. And that's across a fucking metal door. Yeah. He doesn't envy who tries to get through that thing. If he's right, the structure is already reinforced. Maybe? He might have just been an idiot, but maybe he's just being cautious. He's not sure if he's the biggest target in Japan so far. Maybe he's just being paranoid. No, no. Paranoia has kept him alive his whole life. These thoughts of if he just plays it safe, if he just doesn't take a risk, they've kept him safe, but everything he's been doing ever since All Might, I mean, that's just been a risk. All the training, fighting, killing, it's been a risk. And he's here now. He's got a full belly, he's got leftovers in his damn bike, he has a fucking motorcycle and a mansion being built. He's even got an actual car. He goes to UA as a buyer, not as merchandise. He's still alive. That's more than what he could say for a number of other people. Right now, Deku making his way over to the balcony, joining Kimi, who does go to sit there. Her nursing some tea and looking over everything. And he does just gonna look out across the city. Bright lights, a shining beacon of the world. Tokyo Tower, not too far away, but just out there within hand's reach. A national landmark before everything changed so long ago when Quarks manifested. Not much is known about that time. That landmark has stood for over 200 years. And he gets to look at it. He's seen the ocean, he's seen a national landmark, and he's part of a familia. He got to see the Badlands. He's expanded his own horizon. But where does he go from here? Izuku? Huh? Yeah, sorry. Sorry, I'm a little lost in my own head. Were you trying to say something? It's pretty. Yeah, yeah, it is. I never would have thought I've seen something like this before. No, I don't think I ever would have either. But you're still in agency housing? Yeah. I mean, it technically this is agency housing, but I pay for it. So it's more my own personal house. My safe house. I'm well, the agency owns the building, but I bought the place. If that makes sense. I don't know how to explain it to you very well. No, no, it does make sense. But I'm just surprised. What did you do? Uh, would you believe me if I said nothing? Not at all. You're the big rich guy that everyone wants a piece of the pie of. And I don't blame you for being a little cautious about that. You don't? No. Money is something you need to be careful of. It can make people do a number of things you don't like. Some things that you wouldn't consider, you wouldn't do. It's a horrible. You okay? Yes, I'm okay. I'm just, I'm happy. Is that weird? No. I can't say that I'm unhappy, though. Him trying to look at her. And she does stare down at her cup of tea with a look on her face that does make Deku focus. Are you alright? Just a lot on my mind. A lot of that going around. It's odd. A year ago, I was still hungry. I was still trying to figure things out and survive. Now I'm in Tokyo in the company of a beautiful woman, and I've got food on my bike. I've got a home being built, and I've got tangible power. Tangible? I have the ability to change something. More so than I thought possible. The world's about to go to hell, if I'm right. I don't know how right I am, though. That's a lot to think about. Yeah, the Yagi family may be on the back end of a lot of things. I don't exactly envy us at the moment. Makes sense. Can you tell me anything about that? Or are you confined to secrecy? I'm confined to secrecy. But I can tell you about a few things I'm not confined to. Like, well, him going to turn backwards and lean on the balcony against the railing and talking about it. He met All Might once. You did? Yeah. I found him the same day he was bleeding out. He was in a state. I met Mirako not too far afterwards, and she recruited me. She saw potential in me. Really? Yeah. All Might died that day. Shit, you were there? What happened to him? Who killed him? I don't know. And I don't know. When I found him, he was already wounded. Shit already went bad for him. I've been carrying that for a long, long time, and everyone now knows. I mean, fuck. I can still remember the way my hands were shaking when I found him. I knew we were fucked. I mean, how are we supposed to survive without him? He's so him. And now everyone's making plans, making a move, and this bullshit. It's how my dad died. And the more I think about it, the more I think it might be how I die. Her gonna stand and walk over, bring her hand up, and going to smack him across the face as Deku does go to be caught off guard. That weird alarm in his head didn't go off. Her turning his head back to look at her as she does a lean in, telling him, bringing his hand up and throwing it directly over his own heart. As she does make him lean backwards and tell him, right now he's alive. Right now, he felt something, right? He's alive. She's alive. As long as they're alive, they'll keep fighting. She doesn't want to hear him talk like that. She's heard him say a lot of shit before, but never shit like that. As long as they're alive, no one will control them. As long as they're alive, nothing can harm them. If one day they're gonna die, then what does that mean? Should they be scared? Should they be terrified? No, she's not gonna live her life in fear. She won't live her life like that. If one day she's gonna die, she's gonna make sure she doesn't die with regrets. She's gonna make sure she lived a life worthy of being called that, a life. She wants things. A lot of them. And that's just it. If anyone wants to get in her way, they can burn, they can fry, and they can die. She wants to be happy. And she doesn't care who she'll have to kill to get it. That's horrifying. Her gonna stare at him. And Deku, he does continue his somewhat laugh and talking, trying to tell her through his fit of laughter about how, bringing his hand up, it's also a little beautiful. And she does go to stare at him. When he is finally able to talk, he does try to tell her. It's... I mean, ironic. What? What about that is ironic? You're already alive. What? You're already living. I don't know a lot of things. Call me stupid if you want. You're already alive. But I can agree with you with that. If someone's going to try and tell me how I'm going to live my life, if I want to do something, they'll burn. they'll die. I want, I want, I don't know. Her staring at him. She does still stand close to Deku, and he does still have his hand covering his heart with her hand on his wrist. And he does go to meet her gaze and go to stare at her. Her cheeks are still red, and he does try to take a second to try and figure that out. She was drinking a lot tonight. Is it alcohol, maybe? No. But what is it then? I mean, she likes him romantically, doesn't she? There was the kiss at the auction, and he does like her. Like her? Maybe? No, he didn't. He trusts her. He does trust her, right? He doesn't see her as a threat? Huh. Life. If he's gonna live a life, no regrets. Him going to bring his hand off of his heart and go to bring his other hand up. And Kami does stare at him, his hands making their way to her face. And she does stare at him confused, as he does talk about it. They're alive. They are alive. I know. It means a lot. My parents and I, that doesn't matter right now. Let's just have this moment. Please? Yeah. Whatever you say. I don't want to think of anything else. You're right. We're alive. And I don't know when things may go bad. We don't. I wish I could tell you more. I really do. I can't. I know. Is it? I mean, can I? Can you what? You know what I'm thinking, don't you? I have a pretty good idea. Though, are you sure? Midnight did tell me we can't interact that way. I think she foresaw this exact situation. Ooh, Midnight, how scandalous. And when did you talk to her? Are you perhaps two-timing me? We have to be a thing if I'm going to do that. So you would two-time me. I never said that. Okay, pull back. Let's go ahead and start from the beginning. Hi, I'm Kami. Okay, how about not that far from the beginning? How far do you want to start then? Where's a good point? Deku going to lower his hands. And she does bring her own hands up, grabbing his. And she does talk about it. How about here? Leaning forwards as Deku, he does stop himself from pulling back. And she does kiss him. Right now, bring her hands up and around his shoulders. And Deku, he doesn't bring his own hands up and go to hold on to her. The two do the kiss, and it's odd. And they do continue. It's a nice night. Lovely scenery, nice time spent together. But Deku, he does ultimately decide to leave. He does have a lot going through his mind, and he does still need to recover. Along with that, he doesn't want to waste the food in his bike. Kami, she does understand this. Her even stopping herself from talking about him staying over the night and just putting the food in her fridge. Deku seems to have a lot going through his own mind. His thoughts are complicated, just like hers. But she herself does find herself happy. She is thriving in her environment. She's doing better. She has people. She might have another person. Someone she can trust. Someone who does care. Who may not, yeah. This is going through her mind. And there is the next day. Deku, he does wake up still a little hungover. His head does throb a little, but he does get some coffee this morning. And he does go to check his email for any information about his manor. They are making steady progress, and he does go to see about how they are still working on quite a number of things. And he does have a thought. Him sending an email to Nezu and asking him to expand the training room once more. He may need to do a number of activities there, and he'd like to have the space. Along with that, he would like something to test his reflexes on and make sure he has the capability to dodge fast-moving objects if they ever were to present themselves as a threat. And Deku, he does send it off. Knowing Nezu, he'll see it later today. Hell, he might have some sort of system flagged with his name. And Izuku, while he does sit there eating some food prepared for him this morning, he even does have another idea. He can message David Shield. Maybe talk to Sir Night-Eye. He'll need a battle suit. If he does go through the family, then that can mean a lot. Though, if he does go through the Shield family, then perhaps he can look into what's going on with his other quirk. God, he just said that sentence. No, he thought it. His other quirk. But what exactly does that mean, though? Yeah. He had a weird dream, though. It may be nothing. He'll definitely have to think about it more. Maybe check it out? Perhaps it's just his mind playing tricks on him. He doesn't remember a lot. It's something to think about. Then again, right now the only thing he does want to think about is learning a bit more about how to drive his car. And that Deku does go to meet with a small grin. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.